Hello everyone, this is Bilatresh from Riga Technical University, and today we're going to talk about an important topic, which is socket. Well, for anyone, socket is considered to be one of the most important topics in distributed systems in telecommunications, and at least everyone that studies telecommunications should have a great basic, or let's say, knowledge about sockets thing using a programming language, which in my case right now I'm going to use Python. So as you can see, this is a notepad. So I kind of wrote some notes that I'm going to use them as a base to explain stuff in this video, this tutorial per se. So first of all, we're going to talk about what is socket. So what is it? What does it use? How can we use them? How can I? And how can you deal with them? How can you connect many connections under one server, let's say? And let's say you have a room that's full of computers between two bars. Like you have 10 computers and you want them to be connected under one server. So in our case, socket is a great choice to use and to do that. Well, in here, so what is server? What is the server? What does it offer? So we can say that the server is something that offer you or deliver to you a particular service. So it's kind of, you're asking for a service from a company, from something, and you want them to provide you those kind of service that you're missing, or the things like the service that you need. So this is how server works for us. And what is the client? So the client is, let's say, the consumer, which consumes those kind of services. So the client is something that which request those kind of services from the server. So the client and the server. So, and what is socket? What is it? Like what's our subject? What is our topic for this video? Well, socket is generally an end. It's like an endpoint for the connection between two entities. Like you have two entities at least, and you want them to be connected. In our case, it's client and the server. So we have two entities and we want them to be connected to each other, to communicate, to talk with each other, to chat, per se, to provide services for each other. So everyone should have Python program, which you can use Python shell idle or IPython or Canopy, and you can also use the terminal. Of course, you have to set your path first. You can't just use the terminal like that. So in our case, my computer is already been set to that path. So Python. As you can see, we went to the Python shell immediately. But you can find some tutorial in YouTube if you want, using terminal or something, or you can just download the Python shell 2.7 or 3 or Canopy. So So actually the client will connect first to the socket here. So how does socket work? The client is going to connect to the socket first, and the socket after that will connect to the server. It's kind of works as a like a bridge. Yeah, so and some basic protocols are needed, like in here TCP, transport control protocol, UTB, which everyone should have great, let's say, a basic knowledge about them for transport protocols and such layers and iOS layers. So, and right now we're going to we're going to import the library of socket, which already been, it's inside the shell already. You don't need to download it or anything. And for our program today, we're actually, I think it's better if we use two new files. Yeah. One for the server, which you have to save them. As you can see, I already have some projects under the Python. This is for the server. This one I'm going to use it for the client. .py. Oh, sorry, it's already there. Python. So first of all, import socket. So, and then we're going to set our object, which in our case it's S, which refer to socket, or you can use anything, S, sock, anything. In my case, I'm going to use S and socket. And what's our next thing we have to talk about? We have bend in sockets. What is bending? What does it do? So bending is actually something that is telling our server where it should get connected and where it should deliver its services. Well, its servers. And it can be called easily by using an object. Well, I'm going to show you in here how can you use it. But first, we're going to define our IB, which is the host in here. And here, it's something that you have to set. It's like you have choices. In my case, I'm using only one computer, which I'm going to use the local IB address for my computer, and which is not a unique IB per se. But if you want to use, like if you have two computers and you want them to be connected, you have to use the Ethernet IB, which is a unique, let's say a unique IB address. So in my case in here, and you can actually find your IB, the local IB and the Ethernet IB in using the terminal, using the command IB config, and then you press enter and you will get all the information you need. So in my case, it's 192.168.56.1, and you have to set your port number, which I'm going in our paper is 1235 for 5, sorry. You have to reserve a port for your service, which you're going to request from the server, or actually you're going to provide to the client. And so for binding, as I said, we can call it by using the object, which in our case it's s dot bind. S dot bind. Using we can actually there are only two arguments, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, which are the host and the port. What's the host? What is the port? Oh, here they are. I already talked about it. So the host is the IP, and the port where it's going to be connected. The port number here. So, well, this is the binding step, and right now we have the listening. Well, in this case, we are telling the server to start listening to the client. Start listening to the connections are requested from the client. So when the client requests some services, a service per se, the server in here has to start listening. The server has to start listening to the client and what does it want from it to do. So it's listen, and in here you can actually write one thing, which we have only one argument, and in here actually you're telling the server how many clients are going to connect at the same time, or how many requests are going to be received and they're like at the same time. In our case, in our paper, we're using 5. Well, 5 refers to like you have 5 computers which are connected to under a local or the local area or something, local connection, and you want them to be connected. In my case, I can even use 2 or something, but it doesn't matter right now. So it's not listening. You're telling the computer to start listening, and our final step is accepting. So accepting is we are like preparing or telling our server to start accepting the connections from the client. Like you're telling the server to start accepting those kind of requests. Those requests are going to be let's say going to be provided from the client. So actually, as you can see in here, we are the one who's controlling how the server is going to work, how it does behave, if this metaphor is in the right place, let's say. So while I'm going to use the while statement, while true. So right now what are we doing is we are establishing the connection with the client. Print. God, connection from the address. So right now we are sending. So this is what you like. Focus on this line. This is actually when the connection is going to be established. That's the first step. You're going to, let's say, that will confirm the connection approval or something per se. So thank you for connecting. You can say also, what's up, dude? But let's be more professional. Thank you for connecting. Right now we're going to close the connection. See, close. So right now we just wrote our lines for the server, and we are the one who's controlling how the server behaves, and this is just a sample program. It's not even complicated. It's just basic knowledge about. So to illustrate the concept of the sockets and how can you use them. That's it. Nothing more than that. So nothing interesting about the client side. It's basically the same thing. You just in here it's like someone who's listening, and here the speaker, the one who speaks and waits for something, which is the client. Port socket. We're creating a socket object using this line. And the same thing, the host, just like I said in the beginning of the video, this is where you write your address. Well, in my case, I'm writing my local address because I'm only using the same computer that provide and receive and everything. So 68.56.1, and our port number to reserve a port for your service. So we wrote it in here as 1235. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, the same mistake. God. And now you're telling the client start connecting host port, and here you're giving the client to start receiving data or receiving something, receiving information from the server. And print is not receive or and close. So that's pretty much it. Now let's try. I hope it works. Another new program without syntax. Alright, sorry. Yes. Okay. Okay. I hope it works. I hope it works. The server respond. The server responded to the client, which the same line we wrote in here. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for connecting. So after the execution, after the client requested a connection from the server after that responded to the client and said, okay, I'm going to connect to you, we're going to be connected, and the connection is right now is being established or has been established. Thank you for watching.